Hello and welcome to Dickinson's Real Deal. On this show, I help members of the public get the very best price for their antiques and valuables. We sit them down with one of our regular dealers. They're going to try and tempt you with a cash offer on the table today.
I would like to pay you £30.
No thanks.
If I don't think that's enough money, I'm going to advise you to place the same goods into auction in the hope that you will get a little bit more money there. Today, the show comes to you from Whitney in Oxfordshire. There's a great crowd of people here. They brought along their collectibles and their antiques. They want the real deal.
Now will Simon go potty over his first item?
You've brought in these two little cauldrons, shall we call them? Two little pots. What can you tell me about them?
I brought them from a car boot sale about 25 years ago, and they've been set in various cupboards, windowsills and that. So, and I suddenly just thought, you know, I'll go get them valued, see if they're worth anything.
Well, I guess you know what they are. They're made by quite a famous company, Royal Doulton.
Yes.
They're very pretty little things, and probably date from about the beginning of the 20th century, so they're, you know, well over 100 years old now. They're marked on the inside. I don't know if you've seen the little stamp, which is quite unusual actually, because normally you expect to see something on the base of something. They're in very good condition. There doesn't appear to be any damage or restorations or anything like that at all. A few years ago, they would have been worth more than they are, you know, nowadays. Today, I think they're worth £40.
I'm looking for more than that.
You're looking for more?
I am.
Are you looking for much more?
I am looking for more.
She's looking for more, David.
OK, 50 to 70, 50 to 80 seems to be the independent values. £40 is on the table. I think that's a bit of a safe bid from our dealer, you know. Perhaps he doesn't really want them, so he's not enthusiastic about the bidding. I think they're worth a mid-estimate, somewhere around 45 quid, 50 quid, something like that. But listen to what Simon's got to say. And if you fancy a gamble, you know where to find me, at the auction.
Thanks, David. Christine, I'm going to stick on my £40 today.
Okay.
If I owned them and I bought them off you for £40, I wouldn't ask more than £50 for them, because I think that would be their value. So, really, the choice is yours.
I think I'll go to auction, give it a go. I've never had been, so...
Well, it's good fun. And I think we should say that if you go to auction, you only need two people who both like them, and then you might get a result with them. Very best luck. I've got one more question for you. You said car boot sale, so I have to ask you, what did you pay for them?
£5.
Oh, well, so you've got, whatever happens, I think you're definitely going to be in profit, aren't you?
Yeah.
Well, best of luck in the auction, and thank you very much for coming in today.
OK, thank you very much.
So we head over to the sale room to join auctioneer Jonathan King as the Doulton pots are about to go under the hammer.
50 to 80 is the expectation, and £50 is the reserve. What will you do if you sell these for 50? Will you get off to the car boot sale straight away, or...?
No, probably not. Better treat the grandchildren, probably.
Oh, grandchildren? OK. They are marked. The impress mark is on the inside. I don't know why that is. They normally would have been under the cauldron.
Yes, yeah.
Could it be that the worker in Royal Doulton had had a tipple? I'm only joking. But I don't know why it was on the inside, because that's unusual. But I don't think that makes it necessarily any more valuable. They're coming up now, nicely marked, nicely coloured. The small pair of cauldrons bought for £5 at a car boot sale 25 years ago.
Start the bidding at £32. £32 for me, 34, 36, 38, 40, 42, 44, 46, 48, 50. In the room at £50. 55 anywhere, please. 55, 60, £55 here on the machine at £55, and against you all at £55 and away. Are you all done at £55?
All the fives. Paid a £5 for them, got 55, take away 10%, £5.50, something like that, and so we've got £49.50 left. What's your reaction to that? You paid £5 25 years ago.
That's good.
Good return, isn't it?
Good return. Yeah, I'm happy with that.
think I'll do a bit of car booting. I fancy it, you know, because lay out a fiver, get back £49.50. You can't get that in the bank, can you?
Certainly not at today's interest rates, David, you're right. Now we head over to Abdul's table. Who's let the dogs out? None other than the French cartoonist Boris O'Klein.
You brought us beautiful bit of fun today, this lovely bear of print. Will you tell me how we acquire them?
Me and my partner Debbie just come back from Turkey. He was looking for a photo frame. He went into a charity shop and I see these on the wall. I recognised them and I...
Oh,
So
well
I bought
done.
them.
You've got lovely sharp eyes. They actually sign print by very well-known French caricature artist. He had a long lifespan and he died late in the 20th century. They still produce today. And if you look to that one first, you see he tried to put humor in the animal, make them like a human being. And that bit of fun here is like no-go area that is private. So it's a bit of fun in his style. And if we look to that second one here, you see it look like a bulldog with the masculine and the tough guy, the powerman. And you look at it, he had a bit more than what he should. He's having a fun time. So he got a lot going for it.
Yeah.
It's very decorative, and I would love to buy them. I will offer you £20. No. How far are we? I hope it's not far.
You're a little bit away, but...
I hope it's very little bit, not a lot.
Not very little bit, no, but nearly there.
Okay, I will go up to another £10. Are you close to me?
You're getting there.
I think it's a very fair offer. He's mass-produced artist. He died very late in the 20th century.
They are mass-produced, but there is a little bit of amusement there for your money. £40 to £60 is what the independents say. £30 is on the table from Abdul. It's a realistic offer, but both the independent valuers and auctioneer think more at auction, and I think I agree with them.
Right, if I put another £10, if you got extra 10 or £20 in the auction, you wouldn't get better cash deal than that. That's what I think. And the decision is yours.
Another tenner.
Honestly, I will stay with that. I am confident enough. It's very fair offer.
You got yourself a deal.
Well done. Very well done. Lovely to see you. Thank you very much indeed. For my curiosity, would you please tell me how much it cost you that?
£1 each.
That is very well done. Very well done.
Well, drunken dogs may not be to everyone's taste, but Abdul seems happy with his buy. We'll see how he does with them later in the programme.
Andrew, hello. Hello.
Now, James, there's no time for a cuppa. You need to get on with your first deal.
So you brought along a loving cup?
Yep.
Tell me about it.
Well, it's my nan and granddad's. It's
Okay.
been in their possession ever since I was a little boy.
And do you like it?
Yeah, I like it, but I'd like someone else to appreciate it now.
Yeah. Okay. So you don't have any sort of sentimental attachment
No.
to it, really? No. So we got on this side, South Africa, 1899-1900, Boer War. And on the other side, a patriotic rhyme, God bless you, Tommy Atkins, here's your country's love to you. And it's a loving cup.
Yeah.
So two-handle loving cup for drinking toasts to the soldiers in South Africa. And on the bottom, we've got alabaster. So it's a Devon pottery. They made mostly kind of souvenir pottery for seaside towns in the West Country, didn't they?
Right.
You see it all over the place with, you know, present from Ilfracombe or whatever on it. I don't think I've ever seen a Boer War one. Any idea what you want to get for it?
Yeah, I have a little idea.
You have a little idea?
Yeah.
Oh, good, that's good. Because I'm still thinking what I want to give for it. I'll make you an offer, see what happens. I'll offer you £40 for it.
No, that's more than that.
No good. I thought you said a little idea. You're talking about a big idea. Okay, well, try another 10, so it's 50 quid.
A bit more.
You're not looking impressed.
No, I was...
Here comes
I'm
Tommy
going to
Atkins.
say no thank you, sir. What we've got here, I think, is rather interesting. I think this ticks the boxes for several people. Militaria collectors, pottery collectors, certainly this Devonware is collectible. So I'm going to say, no, sir, we are looking for more money today.
Very military of him. OK, let's take the 10 away. I'll put that back in my pocket and delve in the other one. 60. I'm going to have another delve in here. £65.
Another 20, I think.
Another 20. 20, 40, 60. I'm not. I'll take the 5 away and I'll put another 20 down. That means you've got 80 quid.
Get in there.
OK, this is my final offer now. 85 quid. I think that's really as much as I want to give for it. But, you know, you're open to go to auction if you want to.
Yeah. No, I think we'll deal with that.
We'll deal with that?
Yeah.
OK. Well, thanks very much.
Well, thank you
Thanks
very much.
for bringing it along.
Cheers. Thank you.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from Whitney, a market town 10 miles outside of Oxford. Now, over on Brenda's table is a possibly unique piece of Second World War history.
You brought me a Prisoner's Progress.
Yeah.
I've not seen one of these before.
No, I haven't seen one.
No, and I
before.
think that's probably because it's a limited edition, isn't it?
Yeah.
Here we are, 509 out of 1,000.
Yeah.
So, do you know anything about the Prisoner's Progress? What was it?
Well, all I know is all these soldiers got trapped after Dunkirk, and then they had to march all the way through to a prisoner of war camp.
Okay, so when Churchill brought all the boats over, some of them got away,
Yeah.
but there was a lot, thousands
left on the beach.
left
Yeah.
to their own devices.
Yeah.
And they got captured.
Yeah.
So then they were marched back through Belgium,
Yeah.
all the way, sometimes on foot for hundreds of miles,
Yeah.
all the way back to Germany.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
Yeah.
Can you imagine being amongst that?
Must have been awful.
It must have been dreadful.
Terrible.
Absolutely dreadful. So, I mean, it's quite a colourful and very descriptive
It is.
book, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's the sort of thing you have to sit down quietly and read yourself.
Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
just absorb it all within a few minutes.
No.
Why are you wanting to sell a piece of history?
What's the good of keeping it? Let somebody else have a look at it.
So you've absorbed it. You
Yeah.
want somebody else to absorb it and remember.
It's only left in a cupboard, and
Yeah.
that's it.
Okay. All right. So if I gave you some money, what would you spend the money on?
I don't know.
You don't know.
£40, how much you give me?
Oh, okay. Well, fair comment. Fair comment. Now, having never seen one of these before or handled one, it's very difficult as a dealer.
I would think it is, yeah.
Okay. So, 10, 20 pounds.
More than that.
More than that. 30 pounds.
No.
40 pounds.
No.
It might be worth a little bit more at auction.
Yeah.
I personally feel this needs to go to a wider audience because you do get people that collect this sort of stuff. And I could take it off you for 40, 50 pounds, but I think seeing as you've had it a long time, I would prefer that you show it to a wider audience of collectors. Yeah?
Yeah, I'll do that.
Lovely to meet you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay.
Will David get what he hopes for at auction? We head over there to find out.
Where did you acquire it from?
Well, we cleared a house out, and it was in amongst the rubbish.
I see. How many years ago was that? Many years
Probably
ago.
about 15, 20 years ago.
Okay. I think it's very interesting, and it certainly is interesting to militaria-type collectors. So,
It is, yeah.
What's it worth? Well, the reserve is 30 quid. I'd have thought it's worth that. I would have thought it's worth a bit more than that, quite frankly.
I would have thought
Okay.
so, yeah.
Bit of a gamble here. We have no idea. Are there any militaria collectors that want to buy it? We're about to find out. It's here now.
And I'll start the bidding this morning at £40 with me. £40 with me. 42 anywhere, please. At £40 with me. 42, 44. 44 I have. 46, 48. At 48 I have.
£48.
50, 55 I have.
A bit better, isn't it?
60 now. 65 I have. At £65 I have. At £65 I have. 70 anywhere. At £65 I have and selling. Are you all done at £65?
Okay, £65. We've got to take away some commission on this, so I make that about £58.50, I think that is. So £58.50 you would be going home with. What's your first reaction?
Well, I got it for nothing, so...
Yes. I thought it might have brought £100, but it depends who is here in the sale room.
Yeah,
so 65 quid, something that costs nothing from a house clearance, take away the commission, you're going home with £58.50. You're happy?
Yeah.
I think I'm satisfied, but I would have liked to have seen more. That was the real deal. That's from the two Daves.
For something found in a box, not a bad result. Back to the dealer's den and another box, but a far more decorative one this time.
Why have you brought in your pretty little box today? What can you tell me about it?
Well, it was given to me by the nephew of a lady I looked after for a long time.
Well, it's a very pretty little box. It's a silver box with a tortoiseshell lid, and it's got some silver inlaid into it, and we call this piqué, and it's the sort of art of, it's like a marquetry of inlaying the silver into the tortoiseshell. And if we open it up inside, we can see it's been gilded inside, sort of with a thin layer of gold over it. And I think sometimes they did that to stop them corroding inside. What the box would be used for is anybody's guess, really. It could be a pill box,
trinkets and
little
rings
trinket,
and stuff.
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I had a quick look at this earlier, and what's quite nice about it is the manufacture of it, because it's made by Selfridges, and the maker is S&C Company Limited, which is Selfridges and Company Limited.
Okay.
So it takes you back to a different era, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean? When you had these wonderful department stores that would actually manufacture their own goods. Nowadays, I guess they just buy most of it in. OK, Iris, well, I think I better make you an offer for your PK box, hadn't I? I would like to pay you for your tortoiseshell box £20, £30.
No, thanks.
That was a very definite no. I've just got a refusal here, David.
Well, I'm not surprised in a way, Simon, because I've come in just at this stage to give you an indication of what the independent values of the auctioneer say. £40 to £60 is the estimation. I think that's pretty fair. It's in perfect condition, and I think it's probably worth twice what's on the table, really. Now, you haven't been to auction, so unless Simon digs rather deep and puts a little bit more money on, you and I could take the afternoon out and go to auction.
Thank you.
Oh, it's hard to compete against that offer, isn't it? What would you rather have, an afternoon with David or a bit more cash from me? Well, look, I'm going to try and tempt you. I'm going to put another £20 down, and I'm going to make an offer of £50. What's it going to be?
I'll accept your offer, Simon.
Well, thank you very much for coming in today, and thank you very much for sending me your box.
Back over to the other side of the dealer's den, and has Abdul clocked a bargain?
Would you please tell me how you acquired that clock?
It was from an old uncle. He was a clock collector, and he was selling some of his clocks, and he asked me if I'd like to choose one before he sold them, and I chose that one.
What made you choose that particular
Because
one?
it's very elegant and would look lovely in the right house.
And how long did you
I've
have
had it about 25, 30 years.
It's a lovely clock, second half of the 19th century.
Oh, right.
We can see the dome had a
Yeah, it's
little
got
crack.
cracked, yes, yeah.
And then we looked at the clock itself is made of alabaster.
Yes.
And if you look at the back of the movement, is a French standard movement.
All right.
And brass gilded. Mass produced to the middle class the middle of the 19th century.
Oh, really?
And that is the pendulum, and they normally take it out of the clock so it doesn't damage the movement when you transfer it or remove it. Now, what made you decide to sell it if you was in love with it?
I am in love with it, but
Yes.
ever since I've had it, it's been in the wardrobe because it
good.
doesn't suit my house.
Oh, gosh.
So I thought if somebody's got the right house, a lovely old farmhouse or something, that will look beautiful.
And that is in good condition. Is it been working all this time?
It works,
so
yeah,
every
I
time
have tested
so
it, yes.
the movement in a good condition?
Yes.
I would like to give you £40.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
All right, if I give another £10, that will make you happy?
No. No, not at all.
Terry, my last offer is £50 for that clock.
No, I'm sorry.
Just
no
before
way,
you
no
say
way.
anything, Terry, did I hear the words last offer?
It did, yes.
Independent valuers, auctioneers, they vary. Some are a little bit lower, but the majority are saying 80 to 120. What I like about it, it's in lovely condition. No way in the world can we accept 50. We have to go to auction unless there is something over the bottom estimate of £80. And I shall look forward to seeing you at the sale room. Abdul, 50 quid? We're not giving stuff away on Dickinson's Real Deal.
Terry, the very best offer I can give.
Okay.
Lovely to meet you and very best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Very
indeed.
best of luck.
Thank you.
Where have you been? We've been waiting. Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal.
Before the break, we saw Terry meant business.
I don't think so.
Now we head straight over to auction to see if her fighting spirit pays off.
£60 is the reserve. I still think the reserve is low at 60, I have to tell you. But these kind of clocks are not very fashionable. And because they're not very fashionable, they're not selling well. But I'm hoping it will do a lot better than £60. Let's see what it brings here.
It's 15 inches high, and I'm bid £50 for it. £50 I'm bid for the clock. 55 anywhere. 55, 60, 65, 70 I'm bid. At £70 I bid for the clock. 75 anywhere. At £70 I'm bid for the clock. 75 anywhere. Are you all done at £70?
OK, £70. I'm going to have to tell you, I'm a bit gutted because I still think this is as cheap as chips.
Yes.
It really is. It's in perfect condition. I've seen damaged ones bring that kind of money. £70 was the gavel price. Take away the 10%, £63. What's your feelings?
I think it's quite hilarious, really, to think such a lovely clock like that goes for such little money.
What's this small amount of money going to go towards?
What I think I'll do there, I'll put a deposit on that ring that you wear.
Okay. Right, OK.
Yeah.
Well,
Is that all right?
a stylish lady like you would know the good thing when you saw it, wouldn't you? That was the real deal.
Well, the gamble may not have paid off, but it looks like those two have started up a mutual admiration society. Back in the dealer's den, and Simon is inspecting his next item.
Well, you've brought in this smoker's cabinet.
Yes, that's right.
How come you own this?
Well, I was executor for an old friend of my father's, and I had spotted it early on in my life when I was a younger man, when I went to visit, and I was curious about it, didn't know what it was, and he explained it, showed me what it was. He was a big smoker, pipe, cigar, and cigarette, and so it must have struck him anyway that I'd attracted to it. So when he died, it was left to me in his will.
And it's what made you sort of decide to bring it in and sell it now?
Well, because we've had no use for it.
And what would you do if you received some money for it? What's your sort of plans to how to spend the proceeds?
Well, my main hobby is collecting postcards, so that I would hopefully put any money, if there were any, to buying some more.
Oh, well, that's interesting. So it just sort of proves how recyclable antiques are, in a sense, doesn't it? Right, well, we better get back to what we've got in front of us now. Now, if we look at the sort of a few of the features on this, we can see this sort of slightly reflects the beginning of the 20th century, and that slight Art Nouveau look is just beginning to creep in here a little bit, particularly with the handles on the side, and if we look at the handles in the front there, sort of quite decorative.
Yeah.
And there's also a lovely feature, I must just show it on this one. We can actually turn this round. And what we've got here is the original tobacco jar that would have been retailed with this. And I think this one's made by Adams rather than Wedgwood, but exactly the same sort of thing as a Jasperware made by Wedgwood. And then we've got these three drawers here, and we've got a little plaque in here as well, which may well have been on this at some time, and I think that refers to the gentleman you inherited it from.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
And this was awarded to, given to him by his friends on his retirement.
1954.
In 1954.
Yes.
That was a very good year, 1954, because that was the year I was born. And it was given. He worked for the British Steel
Corporation. Yes.
Right. So, I mean, this is virtually as he left it.
Absolutely, I haven't.
So you haven't touched it at all. So
really.
We've got, there's an old pipe case in there, and if we look in here, I think there's a cigar cutter and things. So it's quite nice to see something untouched.
Absolutely.
Very clean. And I just think it's a really nice thing. And whether smoking is you know,
or not, yeah.
whether it's good or not, I think one thing that's undeniable is that this is a very nice piece of furniture.
Okay.
So having said all that, it now comes down to the dreaded cash, doesn't it?
Mm.
Well, I like it. I think it's a lovely quality item, and I'd like to make you an offer for it today, and I would like to offer you 20, 40, 60, 80, £100.
I was looking for a bit more.
A wee bit more.
Yes, yes.
Go on. Let's put another £20 down. 120.
You stretch a little more? Another note?
I'll tell you what I am prepared to do, because I do like it. I'm prepared to put down another £10 in the hope that that might push you over to saying yes.
130 cash.
£130 cash.
I think that's a deal.
Thank you very much indeed for bringing it in today, and I hope I can find somebody to own it who's enjoyed it as much as you have.
Well, I hope so. Thank you, Sam.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
So it's back to the dealer's den, and if you thought technology was moving fast, well, James's next item confirms it.
You brought along a Fowler's circular slide rule?
I believe so, yeah.
You believe so?
Yeah, I ain't got a clue what it is really, to be
Okay.
honest.
So why have you got it?
I brought it for the case, to be honest. It wasn't until I opened the case and I saw that.
Really? Where did you buy it? Car boot?
Car boot, yes.
Car boot.
Yeah.
And it was just, you were attracted to the leather case?
Yeah.
So it's the original leather case, because it's got Fowler's name on it there, and this is a pocket slide rule by Fowler, made in the 1930s, just pre-war. It was the sort of thing that was used by engineers, architects. It's the forerunner of a pocket calculator, because it can convert yards to meters, meters to yards. It works out sines, logarithms, tangents, cosines. Some of them work out money as well, like what a 200 times £4, 7 and tuppence 3 farthings, which you need a calculator for that.
Yeah.
So that moves the actual dial, and that one moves the cursor. So, very neat thing. They were made in the probably tens of thousands, and so the value isn't huge.
Yeah.
But having said that, it's a nice thing. And I'm glad you didn't throw it away and keep the leather case, because people always want to have the leather case with the slide rule. So, I'll put a bit of money on the table, and you can smile if you're in profit. Okay?
Yep.
You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm going to offer you £30. You're looking happy. How many thousands of percent profit is that?
Not a great deal.
Oh, really? Are you happy with that, though?
No.
No?
Not really.
You want more? Okay, so I've got to dip into this pocket and put another 5 down. So that's 35.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take that.
I'll take the offer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we are. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Now you can tell me how much you paid for it.
£1.50.
Some people have all the luck.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Dickinson's Real Deal from Whitney in Oxfordshire, where the dealer's den has been busy all day with sellers hoping to get a great price on their antiques and collectibles. Now, over on Brenda's table, we've got an angelic little guest.
Now, what have you brought me today? A little cherub?
It's a little cherub, yeah. It came from an old lady. I used to visit this lady once a fortnight. She lived on her own, had no friends, no family. It lived in the country.
That happens a lot, doesn't it?
I know, and it was very sad, but she was a bit of a hoarder.
Oh.
You couldn't walk into her rooms without falling over things.
Yeah.
When she passed away, her brother came over from France.
Yeah.
And just basically said to me, take everything, I can't sort it out, I don't want anything.
Really?
So what we done was we took everything, we sold a lot in car boot sales and give it to charity.
Right.
And some of the things we just put in the garage, and that was one of them.
A little bit worn, worse for wear, isn't it?
Unfortunately, yes.
What have you been doing with it?
Well, it wasn't mine. I've had it about 5 or 6 years, and since then it has lived in the garage, I'm afraid.
Ooh, a bit damp in there?
Very.
Oh dear. Well, it's a very attractive Tazza. A Tazza is a particular shape. We call it a comport sometimes, which is something that has got an elevated piece here, and then it's splayed out. So that's what a Tazza is.
All right.
And this is a WMF Tazza from about 1880. It was a German company, and they were one of the main producers of this sort of metal. And what it is mostly pewter, and then they silver plate over the top. But the way we know it's WMF, it's stamped on the bottom, WMF, and then it says EPNS next to it, so electroplated nickel silver. Yeah. So you've got all the clues there, like with hallmarking of silver, you've got all the clues there. So it makes it quite easy to establish its age, etc., by the markings on the bottom. But what we've got is so much damage with the green coming through. It's really showing quite a lot of damage. Normally they're very collectible. The Art Nouveau pieces are particularly collectible. All right, what would you do with the money if I gave you some money?
Probably put it towards my husband's bowling tour.
Bowling tour?
A bowling tour, yes.
Okay. So you're not a football wife, you're a bowling wife.
I'm a bowling widow.
All right, let's put some money on the table, see where we go. Right. 10, 20, £30.
I think it's worth more than that.
In that state?
Yes.
£40.
No, you need to keep going.
I'm going to put £50 down on the table. I think that's where I want to leave it, Heather. Okay. Because of the condition, basically.
Well, I've walked in at this stage. I can see that Brenda's put 50 quid on the table. 80 to 120 is the independent valuers and the auctioneer's estimation. I think the only thing that's going for this really is its WMF. It really is a highly collectible name. Whether this can be cleaned with a buffing wheel sufficiently to make it acceptable, I don't really know at this stage, but 80 to 120 should carry it in the auction with WMF. 50 from Brenda reflects the condition.
Yeah.
You see, the problem with the dealer is Brenda's now got to do something with that before she can sell it.
Yeah.
And that will incur a certain amount of money. So she's probably thinking, I'll pass on this one because I don't really want to take on the work. So my advice is you may do better because it's WMF in the auction.
David's got it in one. He read me totally right there, because if I take that on board, it's going to take me 6 months to get that back to a condition. That's why I'm just offering that.
I think I will take David's advice and actually take it to auction.
I think you're very wise.
Yes.
And David will look after you.
Yes, thank you.
Best of luck, Heather.
Thank you.
Okay.
Now we head over to auction where Heather's husband Ray has stepped into the breach as he's keen to get his mitts on the cash for his upcoming bowling tour.
How good are you?
Well, I've been doing it 3 years. Pretty good.
You like it?
Yeah, very good.
Great exercise?
Fantastic exercise.
Fresh air?
Fresh air.
Bit of
plenty
topping?
of bending and plenty of lifting.
Bit of bending? Topping up the tan? Sounds all right to me. I think I might try a bit of that bowling. Bit of bending, bit of stretching, bit of topping up of the tan.
That's it, yeah, why not?
OK, coming up now is your pewter and nickel Tazza, circa 1900 to 1910, WMF, very collectible. There's a realistic reserve of £80 on it. Is it going to sell? I think it is. Here it is now.
I bid £50 for it. £50 I'm bid for it. 55, 60, 65, 70 I'm bid. At £70 I'm bid. 75, 80, 85, 85, 90, 95. At £95 I'm bid. At £95 and away then. Are you all done at 95? 100 I'm bid. At £100 I'm bid. Against you all now at £100 here. Are you all done at £100?
OK, £100 under the gavel, £10 to knock off a 10% commission is going to leave you £90. What's your first reaction?
Very good indeed.
Are you
Fantastic.
satisfied?
That's very satisfied, yeah.
OK, and that's going to go a long way on your bowling tour as well.
That's going to go a long way, yeah. A few bevies.
Few bevies? So there's more to this bowls than meets the eye.
Yeah.
Bending, stretching, topping up the tan, touring on a bus and also a few bevies.
Night, yeah.
Now that's not a bad deal. £90 under the gavel. That's the real deal.
That's the real deal.
Happy?
Yeah, very happy.
We're all happy.
We head back to the dealer's den, where Abdul's wallet is about to get a good airing.
What you bought us today, Patrick?
Got you a necklace, my wife's necklace.
Yes.
And she got it from her stepfather as a present about 30 years ago.
30 years ago. What made her suddenly decide to sell it? If it's that?
She prefers silver now.
Oh, that is the fashion now. That chain is start life as a watch chain, and years later people wear it as a necklace because too many people discard the pocket watch, and the only use for it to wear it as a necklace. It's a lovely necklace. A few years back, it was worth more as an article than weight of gold.
Right.
Today, you're lucky because the price of gold goes sky high. So it's worth more as a gold content than as a necklace.
I see, yeah.
Obviously, I would love to buy it. So I hope I will attend to you with a very, very generous offer.
I'm sure you will.
All right, we're starting now. If I offer you, is 100?
100.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's 200. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 300. 1, 2, 3. So that is 380.
380.
And that is a very, very good offer.
Generous offer, but the chain was weighed and it was 28 grams.
That's correct.
So at the current price today, which is what we're talking about,
Yes.
it would be worth a little bit more than that.
Just a little bit, but if you put it in auction and we're not putting it today, you might go up, you might win, you might lose.
Very
That
true.
is the gamble you take.
But that is the gamble you take.
Yes.
And it's the one you will take too.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
if you put another few pieces on the table, maybe we can shake hands.
All right. In that case, I will put another £20 to make it £400.
But if we put one more 20, then we will shake.
Very, very hard. What if we split the difference and £10? So that will be both of us happy.
No, because we will both make money on 420.
You are a very hard man, but you're honest man, and for that case, I will give the extra £20 here, and we'll have it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Pleasure.
Indeed. Good luck. Thank you.
Well, it's great to finish on the big money. All we need to find out now is how our dealers did today. Simon sold the PK box for £65. James has still got the Boer War mug. And Abdul sold the gold for £450, but hasn't found anyone to take those dogs off his hands yet. Well, they'd have to be barking.
We've had a great day. There's been lots of wheeling and dealing and lots of buying, just the way we like it. Don't forget to join me, David Dickinson, next time for Dickinson's Real Deal. Bye for now.